What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Daniel Hung, and this is the second episode of the Unnamed talk show, a talk show whose name is yet to be named, right? And today we're joined by a nurse, a current colleague, and soon-to-be doctor in medicine, Gilbert Tulcey. So welcome to the show.
Thank you, Daniel. I am pleased to be here, and thank you for having me in your channel too.
Nice. So I know who you are, but the audience might not know. So tell them a little bit about who you are, and what you do.
Sure. Well, my name is Gilbert Tulcey. I am 31 years old. I'm from Belize, San Pedro, Colombia, Toledo. And I've been a nurse for almost 2 years, and then now I'm pursuing my medical degree here in Cuba, and I love football.
Nice. So, okay, I think we're gonna start this conversation with your nursing background.
Sure.
Yeah, so was there anything that made you want to pursue nursing, or was there any influences, or was it something that you wanted to do on your own?
Honestly, at the beginning, I wasn't sure I wanted to be a nurse. Only thing I was sure about was that I wanted to help people in some way. So when I was 18 years old, I was still undecided. So when I first applied to study a program in the university, I didn't choose nursing. It wasn't my first option. No. I chose biology. I guess there wasn't really anybody at the moment to guide me through that decision-making process, what to pursue. But right before maybe approximately a week or two before I started university, it so happens that I don't know what happened. I don't really remember exactly, but I had a change in mind and say, why not study nursing? Why not choose a career from now? And you help people, and maybe you can help change lives one day. So I was already accepted in university, and I did a program change, and luckily they accepted me for the program. They changed my program. So
Not instantly,
well,
because they accepted you for biology.
Yes, they did.
But then you last minute wanted to switch nursing,
programs. Yes.
and they just switched it just like that.
Exactly. So that's how I went about choosing nursing.
So what does nursing mean to you?
Well, personally, nursing for me is a way of helping people, not only through their physical health, or it is not just following a doctor's order, but it's more like connecting to your patients to a personal level where they can trust you. By getting their trust, they are more open to you, they're more honest, and when they are honest and they trust you, they can open up to you about their health problems, of why they seek your help more efficiently. So for me, that's how I see.
I feel like nursing is one of those careers that you get the most direct contact with the patient, and the most directly you can help them too.
Exactly, because the main reason why they are nurses is to carry procedures, techniques, orders from a doctor or from other colleagues, same as nurses, to help somebody that is sick to get better. So that's the primary reason, but there are other focus on a human being, where a nurse can also help, no?
So do you have any influences?
Well, not exactly. There is no personal figure. I would say it was more for me wanting a career, a profession as soon as possible, Because other career paths, you would have to study a little bit more to find a profession, a specific profession.
Yeah, because like for biology, okay, you graduate from biology.
Biology.
Then what? Then you probably have to study more. To do a bachelor's. And the thing is, I know a lot of people study different things, right? And at the end of it, they don't work towards the field that they were studying in. So that's one of like the main disadvantages sometimes with studies or subjects that aren't careers in itself.
Exactly.
I want to know, how does nursing school work? Like, give us maybe a brief overview of like, what do you do? At least nursing school in Belize, right?
Right. Well, for somebody to study nursing, they have different programs in nursing. So you must choose, at least do first a 2 years program, which they call practical nursing or nursing assistants. Now that's what they call them. Or you can do the bachelor's degree program, which is the registered nurse.
So like both of those programs you can do.
You can do
from the start.
From the start, only those two.
So you either choose.
Or you need to do one of those.
Yeah, you either choose
before branching up.
Practical nursing.
Practical nursing or the nursing assistants.
Which is the regular
2 years program. And the registered nurse program, which is a bachelor's degree level program, which is 4 years. So you can choose any one of those. And then when you complete either program, you can specialize if you want. Practical nurse that studied 2 years can specialize and do midwifery program, which is another 18 months, just the same as a registered nurse. So that's how they do it in Belize. You can choose either of both. It's a 4 years program. That's what I did. And of course, first 2 years or first year you do prerequisite courses, which in any program everybody will do.
Those are like the basic sciences.
Basic
right?
Math, English.
Like biology as well?
Biology, chemistry, physics. And then after your second year, that's where you start getting into the nursing courses, real nursing courses. Third year, you do only nursing courses. This will be the first time, or probably it was in the second year, one time, or second semester, you start doing practicals or starting to get into the hospital setting to actually have contact with real patients.
So like what are these nursing subjects? Like, could you name some of them, like just off the bat?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they have a internal medicine too, medical and surgical nursing, pediatric nursing, nursing management. It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been
like how long? It's been you worked for 2 years after you graduate, and then you applied to Cuba, and now it's been 6 years. We're in 5th year now. We're gonna graduate next year.
Yeah.
And so it's been almost 8 years.
Yeah, because I started nursing in 2008, and I finished in 2012. So it was 4 years, and I started working in 2013. So
yeah,
and worked 2 years,
2015.
and now almost 6 years. No, it's 6 years. So probably 8 years ago. So I don't really remember.
So okay, in your 2 years of working, right? What was the experience like? Were there any like memorable moments? Were there some not memorable moments?
Definitely. I believe that in every job that you do, there's always moments, one that you like and some that you don't so like.
Well, I guess choose one then. One good one and one bad one.
Well, I really cannot find any specific right now, but definitely that, there's always good moments, right? Even in the hardest day, in your roughest day as a nurse, is when you finish doing your hard work, you've been busy, and then you think the thing that you do goes unnoticed, but it is not. People look at you, your supervisors, patients, relatives. So for me, memorable moments will be when at the end of your shift, when you're about to go home, relatives of patient or even the patient himself come and say thank you for what you did today. And it makes you feel good about yourself, about what you did. And it keeps you going and say, yeah, I like this, and I go come back tomorrow and I'll do the same thing. You know, it helps you improve as a person. So for me, those are, I would say, moments, not moments, because it was more than once in different situations. And of course, my not so memorable moment, those are things that I don't like. I guess those one would be specifically, I can't find something specific for that. That I hate, at the beginning, no. Afterwards, yes. Transferring patients in an ambulance.
Yeah. I remember, like, I did 2 weeks in the hospital, just like volunteering, the summer before COVID, and the doctors are always, or like the whole like medical staff were always complaining because there was a patient that needed to do a transfer, and they were asking who wanted to go, but no one seemed to want to go, and I was like, what's so bad about sitting in the ambulance and kept going with the patient, and like what is so bad about it?
Well, it's not bad when you know that your patient is not really in a critical condition. But of course, most patients that they transfer would be critical patients.
Yeah.
Right? And so they need care that you don't find in your place. In nursing school, they don't teach you or they don't tell you that, all right, when you finish nursing, they don't prepare you for an ambulance. That is not our role as a nurse, because they have special EMTs that transfer patients. But in Belize, we have limited resources. We don't have EMTs. In Belize City, I believe you will find them. Occasionally, they can work out district, but not all the time. So it's the nurses that will have to transfer patients.
Like they're the ones that usually do it?
They are the ones that
So doctors don't usually...
No, doctors don't usually. Unless a doctor volunteers. I've seen it once, but doctors don't go, it's usually nurses.
Yeah, but like what specifically?
So, there was this instant. I used to work in Southern Regional Hospital, in the southern part of Belize. And you know the roads are very...
they're not as developed. Like they're bumpy.
They're developed. They're bumpy, but that's not the reason.
Oh.
Reason is, remember, they have a lot of hills, a lot of curves.
Curves, yeah. The south side.
So, and when an ambulance they go in high speed, right?
Yeah, because you're trying to rush the patient.
Trying to rush the patient to, you know. So there had this moment that I was supposed to transfer a baby, a newborn baby, that was going into respiratory failure, you know. So a baby had to be intubated in Southern Regional, and it need to be ventilated, right? So we don't offer services like that there, so baby has to reach Belize City. So they needed somebody, a nurse, to go along with the baby, a neonate, in the ambulance.
I think I'm already seeing
ventilating this baby here with an ambu bag.
Yeah.
In a high-speed ambulance.
With hills and curves.
With hills and curves. And you have to make sure as a nurse, your priority is to save this baby life. You make sure that this baby reach to the hospital alive. And to do that,
you had to keep squishing this bag.
You have to. It's not a good experience. You there sitting, because you'll be sitting down with the baby on your leg in a bassinet, and you there ambu bagging, giving the baby air. And you know, when it's in high speed and hills and curves, you there swerving along with the ambulance too, it's really uncomfortable. Like I said, at first it wasn't a problem for me to transfer patient, but afterwards I just got fed of it. I don't know, it probably was something mental, and every time when I would go in, I would feel real bad. I would get motion sickness, real motion sickness, Sometimes I feel like I would reach my destination in a bad state or something maybe worse than the patient. So then the patient, if the patient is an adult stable, I'll reach in a bad state. But imagine I was going in the ambulance with this baby. Yeah, so I had to keep this baby alive, and I was worried. I said, but I knew I had to do my job, not to make sure this baby reached alive. And funny thing is, when you reach Belize City, handing over this baby, you said, thank God this baby reached alive.
Yep.
Yeah, we made it. When you enter, they have nurses and doctors come receive you now, because they know it's an emergency. Sometimes when they receive you there, nurses are same as doctors. At that moment, I remember that this young doctor came complaining to me, why did I bring the baby like this? Why didn't I notice that the endotracheal tube that was in the mouth was kind of dislodged, or the tape was a little dislodged? Well, I told her, if you knew what I went through to get this baby here alive, you would understand. That's all what I said. I didn't really get into it.
You didn't like get angry or anything?
No,
you just told him?
I felt angry, of course,
Yeah.
but I didn't show it. Or maybe they can see it, but I didn't express my way in anger like that. So for me that was something
negative.
Yeah, I don't. So every time when they would call me or tell me to do transfers, I try to say no. I don't want to do it anymore.
No, because I know like a lot of doctors also complain that they don't feel safe.
It's not safe.
So
right?
like, I don't know if they need insurance or they need to sign something that said they're gonna, like, I don't know.
No, for nurses or no, they don't sign anything. But patients and relatives that go with you, they need to sign.
They sign
papers just saying that if anything happened to them while in this ambulance, the government or the hospital does not hold any responsibility in that. So,
but in terms of like doctor safety, it doesn't.
No. And I remember instances when I was working. I think there was once where an ambulance, got into an accident, and I believe a nurse died. Yeah, so it's risky. It's risky.
Like, do they compensate you in any way when you do one of those transfers?
Yes, they do. They do. For every transfer, I do not remember exactly how much they would pay you, but I think the least it was $20, I believe. I'm not sure. I don't remember. For every trip that you do, additional $20 to your paycheck, which is not worth to the risk
and safety
you're taking.
precautions.
No. So when I thank God, I hope I don't need to do it anymore.
Like as a doctor, right?
Right.
All right, Gilbert. So talk to me about the doctor-nurse dynamic, because there's always this thought that doctors and nurses don't get along. Is that true? And based on your experience?
I believe everybody have their own experiences when it comes to that. In my experience, I always, I would say most of the time, maintain a good relationship with doctors. I had no problems that I could recall that would let me see that I don't have a good relationship with doctors. But of course, I've known other nurses. I've heard experiences from others that they say, they say, oh, I don't like to work with a certain doctor, or the certain doctor don't know what to do, or the certain doctor like to give too much orders, or wants to get things done right away, not knowing or not understanding that sometimes there could be just one nurse working or just two nurses working compared to the number of patients that you would have. So for me, professionally, I don't see any problem. There can be negative things, but nothing to a personal level.
So like nothing, no like disrespect, everything is good.
I wouldn't say everything is good. Like I said, there could be instances that a doctor would maybe, let's say, when they speak to you or give you orders directly, sometimes their voice, the way how they say it, make it sound, the tone make it sound like you need to do this right now, or why are not you doing this right now. Sometimes it would be nice to hear that please or a thank you for what you did. Sometimes you don't even get those. So maybe those are something that need to be worked on. And sometimes they will lose, I would say, their respect or calmness in emergency situation. When you need to get things done fast. Some patient came in with a gunshot or a chop wound, bleeding. This is where people forget
all manners.
So
in that case, you shouldn't blame them.
You could understand them in
his emergency.
There's a limit still to it. I mean, that's not the first time. If it was a first time experience, then you accept it. But if you see it happening multiple times, then you know that the best thing one can do is communicate to doctors, this happened and I kind of don't like it. So if you would be more, choose your words when you speak.
I want to segue to being a nurse and also being a person of the male sex. Because I don't know, like for me, I don't have any issues, but a lot of people think nursing is a female only career, and so whenever there's a male who chooses to become a nurse, people think of that person as weird or just weird. How is being a male nurse? Any weird experiences?
It is true.
Any mentality?
It is worldwide that, like you said, everybody think that you hear about nurses, you automatically think, oh, it's a female. In Belize, there's very few male nurses, especially when I started.
Yeah, I actually know a couple, but not a lot.
Especially when I started. But now I've seen more of them, more male nurses getting into this profession, which is good.
At first, I guess, do people look at you funny? Or
Yes, you can notice facial reaction of especially male
patients
when they see you and you tell them, oh, I am your nurse for today, and you can see their expression.
They thought you were a doctor, right?
Yeah. And they would confuse you sometimes. They see you walking around, they will call you, oh, doctor, please come. And then you tell them, oh no, I'm not a doctor, I'm a nurse. I say, oh really? That's all they would say. Or they would say, I thought
you were a doctor.
I thought you were a doctor.
How do you feel about that though?
Well, I feel good.
You feel good?
Back then I wish that was true. But then again, I try to be honest to myself and tell a patient I am a nurse. And the thing is, sometimes I felt, I would say, kind of lonely to some extent, because when I was working there was only about 3 male nurses compared to 20-25 female nurses, so the ratio was really big. I was never treated really in a negative way. No, I was never treated. Because I always try to maintain a good relationship with someone. I try to talk to them in a nice way. So I felt like I was treated good. Yeah. Even my colleagues, they treat me very good. And of course, there will be time when we had our misunderstanding, but that didn't change.
For the most part.
Everything is good. For the most part, it was good. So maybe it just happens to me. I don't know about other male nurses.
Experiences.
For me.
What do you consider yourself more of, introverted or extroverted? I think you're introverted.
I think I switch. The thing is, like I said, in the nursing profession, you need to be
you need to talk
extra
to the patients. Yeah, you need
right?
to talk.
But when you see me outside of nursing, I'm very introverted. right? But that's me. That's who I am. The moment I step inside a hospital, I need to be open. I need to talk to people.
Like as an introverted person myself, I'm finding it hard to like talk to the patients.
I mean,
like more.
It wasn't easy in the beginning. It was very hard. You know, when you're somebody like that, find it hard to talk to people. But as long as you take that first step, talking to them, you feel it every day. You find it easier to do it. At least in the hospital setting, or at least when you talk to patients, it's a matter of building that experience. Building it.
So just do it every day.
Yeah, you need to work hard on it every day. Even if just saying good morning, hello, how are you? My name is, how are you today? How can I help you today? And sometimes you find it easier to do it the more you do it.
Yeah, that's how you were able to be an introvert, but also be social when you need to.
Right.
So, are there any tips, tricks, maybe some resource that you can share that will help people in the traverse this nursing career to avoid like burnout or stress? Because nursing is not easy.
It's not an easy job.
You have long hours and you have a lot of work to do. And so how do you keep yourself sane, mentally sane? What do you do?
Well, you find time for yourself, as hard as it is, to have fun, to release that stress that you accumulate during long working hours, because it's not only for nurses, for doctors too, but I believe for more nurses who work really long hours. Find something that you do for fun. I'm sure there is some kind of hobby that each person like. Yeah. Personally, for me, I used to do some exercise, to jog a little, to sweat, to get some endorphins. It kind of, for me, ease my mind. Kind of feel like I'm releasing some stress by doing that. If I'm not doing that, I would go out with friends, with colleagues, I would say. Go out, I don't know, to a restaurant to eat. I wouldn't say drink or party, because back then that wasn't me. That wasn't something that I would do to have fun. Even if that would happen, maybe that happened once, but it wasn't something often. And I find that watching a nice football game helps me.
Helps you cope.
Yeah, I forget about all the hospital. Now it's important that when you come to work, don't bring your problems to your work. Leave them there. And then it is the same thing for you. If when you come home, don't bring your stress, your problem from work. Leave them there. You know, come home and try to leave that behind and do fun for yourself. It's harder for those who are married or have a family. Sometimes a nurse who is a mother just finish work, 16-hour shift, reach home, need to take care of the family. That's really hard. But for me, who is single, by the way,
yeah.
You know, I don't really have those problems, so I take care of myself. So it isn't that hard.
Yeah. If there's one thing that you think any nurse has to know, it could be a procedure, it could be anything. What would that be? If you don't know this, then you're a terrible nurse. Yeah.
Oh, that's hard.
Think about it. Just take a moment to think about it. It could be like a piece of information. I
mean, in nursing, all procedures, all things are really important. You have to know them all. But one thing I would say for me is have a lot of patience. I don't know if that would work.
Patience.
A lot of patience. If you don't have patience and you want to do nursing, I don't recommend it. Or if you think you can overcome that, then sure, why not? because in this job it requires a lot of your time, and you will encounter different kind of people. Some will treat you good, some will treat you bad, even with your colleagues. Working hours is not ideal, really. So if you're not somebody real patient and can say that you can handle these things or can manage them, it will affect your performance in a whole. Mentally, physically, and even your performance might not be the best that you can give to somebody, to your patient.
So let's talk about the future. Do you plan on specializing?
I do want to, but will I do it is another thing. As of the moment, I don't think so. It's more like I want to work, start a future, live, like have a family, start make a family or something. I kind of tired of studying right now. I studied nursing for 4 years.
You worked for 2 years.
Worked 2 years, then now studying medicine
for another 7 years.
For another 7 years.
And then you're gonna work a little bit too.
And I would like to work, of course. And I'm already 31 years old, which is still young, but mentally I'm exhausted. To think about specializing right now. I know that I would want to, but will I do it right now, right away, or how long can I wait to do it? I'm not sure.
It's uncertain.
It's uncertain right now, so, but I would like to.
And if you were to, what would you go into? Like, what specialty?
In the beginning, as a nurse, I say if I would specialize in something, do something with children, probably a pediatrician, neonatologist. But now doing medicine, that those options widen, or had more options now, things that I see interesting, that I see myself that I can do.
Like what are those things?
Orthopedics, like we talked about this before. I say it's an interesting field. I see myself, I can do that one day.
Yeah, orthopedics is
fun.
It's actually something I like to do too.
Right. So, but we'll see in the future.
Any advice for someone considering doing nursing right now?
Well, we do need nurses. Everywhere we're short of nurses, whether you're a male or you're a female. Right now, it has nothing to do with gender. Male or female, welcome to do nursing. If you are somebody that care about people or want to make a change in somebody's life, your goal is to see somebody get back to their feet, to see them smile again, and that you're kind enough, that you're very hardworking, and you're really patient. It's good for you. Come do nursing. Even if you don't have all those things, through the nursing career, you will meet people that will impact your life. You will meet colleagues, you will meet patients. There will be moments that could be life-changing for you, and it's a really rewarding job. The gratitude that you get, the feeling that you get from helping somebody to bring back that smile on their face, it's really rewarding. You feel good about it. So come and do nursing. We need you.
Yeah, exactly. One final question, right? With the rise of technology, there's a risk that they might make certain jobs obsolete, right? Or unnecessary. Do you think the nursing career would be affected by automation or maybe robots that basically replacing nurses? Do you think that is a possibility?
That is a possibility, but I believe it's not a good thing, because nursing is more than just technologies. It's a relationship that one have. It's a relationship between two persons, and a machine cannot give you what a physical person or a nurse can give you. By just feeling the warmth or just
There's a
touch
yeah.
from somebody sometimes make you feel good, and from machines certain technology you cannot. You won't get that.
Yeah,
And
you won't get that connection.
yeah, and I think I've noticed they have now in some countries they have machine like robots like that give injections.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and if you're somebody that's scared of getting an injection,
And you see
how will that robot calm you down or help you understand that is important for you? Maybe eventually technology can do that, right?
Maybe eventually robots will be more sentimental.
Yeah, but
at this point in time,
but even if they can do that, you know, it's a machine. It's not the same.
yeah, it's not the same.
It's not the same.
So I feel like the ideal would be nurses probably working with robots, but like as a helper, but not like a replacement.
Yes, because I know technology has been improving health in a good way. For been long, it's been improving. Health can be better, but we cannot just take away that part from the nurse. Maintaining that human contact. If we do, then we lose something very important from there.
From the whole dynamic, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not in our time, but
Definitely not in our time.
maybe in the next like 100 years or something, things might be changing.
Yes, I believe so. It will change.
All right. So, any final words that you wanna share before we like end this?
I am grateful for the time. I hope it could be helpful for somebody out there, even if it's just one person, you know, to recruit them to this nursing profession, which is really rewarding profession. And thank you.
If anything, we'll have another like episode. Maybe bring you back, check in on what you're doing and stuff like that. Yeah.
Maybe.
So, maybe if we have time.
Yes.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Gilbert, for being here.
Thank you too.
You know, all our schedules are all over the place, so grateful for the time, and we will see you in the next video.